I keep reading about some of these things they're discovering in Syria, and these mass graves and some of these prisons, and we read these horror stories, which I guess shouldn't surprise us because we knew this regime was really bad before and dangerous. But I'm always thinking, like, how do you process, the trauma of everybody that's been in Syria for the past decades and go to this new level? Is that ever something you think about? Because you hear these things in the news and you think, wow, this is hard. This is hard to learn about. And I'm just wondering, do you ever think about that and the population and how we make this transition? Obviously, all the thing you're talking about is one of the great ways to process this, but it seems like there's still a lot that's going to have to be dealt with by the population over the next decade.
It is a huge challenge, but you gotta look at the history. I mean, we've seen other nations, other communities face the same thing. One of them is the Jewish community. They had the Holocaust, and look at them today. They're thriving. They're creating the best AI hub. The best labs in the world are existing in Israel. So I think we can overcome this challenge, and the trauma issues that was created back in the days, I think that will ignite. The Syrian people are very well educated, and that will ignite them and give them a push to say, you know what, we want to make it happen. We want to rebuild again. We want to prove to the world who we are, what we are capable of. I think they will use that as a fuel to prove to the world on what they can achieve.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. I mean, out in other countries, all these migrant Syrian that went to other countries that created, huge things. I can sit down and tell you about a lot of things they created. They will use all these horrific incidents and violence as a fuel to reprove themselves again and create a better environment and world and country for their next generation. And I think that's what I'm working on too. So
it's actually true. Sometimes that trauma can create the best results. If you look at some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, a lot of times they're there because they had to deal with traumas. And so this, in a weird way, could be one of the greatest gifts. And in 20 years, you might look back and say, wow, they took all of this and they reminded themselves of where they used to be. And they took that and built this incredible future with the vow, we're never going to go back to this. We're never going to go back to the chaos. We're never going to go back to the war. We're going to build something.
I mean, look at it. 54 years, Assad was trying to spread fears amongst all Syrian. They overcome it. They didn't fall for it. They said, you know what? We're going to overcome this fear. And they realized that fear does not prevent death. It only kills life. And they don't want to lose life. So where we arrived today was a major achievement by the Syrian.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
Say, you know what? We're gonna stand up for this brutal dictator. We're gonna fight it. And they did, and they won. And I think they will win over all this trauma, and they will prove to the world what they can achieve today. The world is gonna watch, and we're gonna see a lot of exciting things happening.
So you're gonna show me Damascus?
Oh yes, absolutely. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, we're going.
We're going. We're gonna visit all the holy sites. Incredible holy sites. We have a city called Malula, one of the most beautiful churches I've ever seen in my life. It's under the cave. When you go in, I don't want to tell you more about it. I want you to experience it when you walk in. Other areas where you see, we have many places where you see a church right next to a mosque. This is how incredible the community and the society, I think it will just fascinate you when you look around and say, wow, this is incredible. I never heard about it. I was just watching the news, conflict, murders, violence, but you're going to see a lot of different things on the ground. So you'll be looking forward for it.
You know, it's one thing I've learned, Tarek, being in the media business the last 14 years, is that, you know, nothing compares to direct experience. And that goes to a place, and that goes to a person. So many times I've had guests on the show where I've made up my mind about them because of what I've read about it and heard about them. Oh, he's this, she's this, they're this. And when I sit down and have a 2-hour conversation with them, I realize, wait a second, that's not true. It's much more nuanced than this. And I realize, you know, they're a human being trying to live their life according to the values that they understand. And I understand that. And I'm very curious to see what it's like to go to Damascus. You know, and it's, like you said, considered the heart of the Middle East. I keep thinking of that line from Lawrence Arabia, Damascus, Damascus.
The road through Damascus.
They all knew that was the key. That was the place to be. Like they said, the oldest city in the world. And to see what it's really like, as opposed to everybody's narrative and the things you read about on the news and the videos, just to see what's really happening there and what the conversations are like and what the people say. And like you said, when you take a walk on your own, what does it feel like? And I experienced the same thing in the Middle East. People said, oh, Dubai is this, it's that. It's a fake place. It's like Vegas in the Middle East. I go there, it's one of the most wonderful places I've ever been. The local Emiratis are incredible people with compassion and vision, and it's super inspiring. The place I love. But if I listened to the news, I would have never gone. And my parents in America think it's a dangerous place, and it couldn't be more different than that. And so I'm looking forward to experiencing Damascus, to see what's really going on. And like you said, there's so much potential. You know, 25 million people, you know, this incredible geography, incredible resources.
It's very interesting that you said the road through Damascus, the road to Damascus. One of the first things that Congressman Corey Mills told me when I told him, let's go to Syria, he said, of course, I read the book. It says the road goes through Damascus. We have to go to Damascus. So it's interesting how you said the same thing. As you said about Dubai, when you tell people, some people would tell them, hey, I'm going to Dubai. Oh, where is that? UAE. Oh, do they speak English there? I mean, that's the type of questions I receive. But when you go to Damascus, to Syria, you'll see people are very welcoming. They treat, hospitality is unbelievable there. And you see how they welcome you, no matter where you came from. You're going to be really impressed by a community. You're going to say, oh my God, I've been watching these news and listening to all of that. But this is the true Syrian. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful trip. You're going to do a lot more. Both congressmen, I mean, as soon as they left, they said, we want to be back here again as soon as possible. I mean, we like the community. We like the people. You know, you will go through all the markets, the old markets, the local markets. It's just fascinating.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.